Wisconsin winter doesn't kill you fast like a desert. It kills you slow. Hypothermia creeps in. Your body shuts down piece by piece. You make mistakes, get confused, stop feeling cold. That's when you know you're dying. And in January 2020, in the farmland and forests near Elkhorn, Wisconsin, 12 Marines learned that winter isn't the only thing that kills slow in this part of America. My name is Sergeant Kyle Hoffman, 27 years old, United States Marine Corps Force Reconnaissance, German-American. Grandparents emigrated from Bavaria in the 1950s. Settled in Wisconsin. Raised me on old country stories about things that hunted in winter forests, things called werewolves, things that walked like men but weren't men. I never believed those stories. Thought they were just European folklore. Tales from the old world that didn't apply to America. But in January 2020, 12 Marines conducting winter warfare training near Bray Road learned that some European folklore crossed the Atlantic, that some creatures exist on both continents, and that winter in Wisconsin can kill you in more ways than just cold. The mission was straightforward. Winter warfare training. The Marine Corps was developing cold weather protocols for operations in places like Norway, Alaska, northern Russia. 12 of us were selected for a 7-day exercise in rural Wisconsin. Navigate mixed terrain, farmland and forest. Practice winter survival. Conduct reconnaissance in sub-zero conditions. Standard cold weather operations. The team was solid. Gunnery Sergeant Robert Schmidt leading, 36 years old, 3 Arctic deployments, the kind of Marine who'd trained in conditions that made Wisconsin look warm. Sergeant Thomas Anderson, our medic. Corporals Jackson, Miller, Peterson, and Williams. Lance Corporals Davis, Martinez, Chen, Thompson, Washington, and me. All Force Recon. All cold weather trained. All confident we could handle a Wisconsin winter. We deployed from Fort McCoy on January 15th, drove 2 hours northeast to Walworth County, to farmland and forest southeast of Elkhorn. The area locals called the Bray Road region. Population sparse, mostly German and Polish farming families who'd been working this land for generations. The kind of place where everyone knows everyone and strangers get noticed immediately. Our liaison was a local farmer, Heinrich Kohler, maybe 70, third-generation Wisconsin. His family had emigrated from Germany in 1890, worked this same farm for 130 years. Weathered face, hands scarred from decades of farm work, eyes that had seen things he didn't talk about to people who wouldn't understand. "You boys doing war games out here?" he asked in a thick German accent as we unloaded gear at his farm. "In January, it's 15 below zero at night, colder in the forest. Not safe." "We've trained in worse, sir," Schmidt said. "We've operated in Alaska, Norway, northern Afghanistan. We know winter." "Maybe you know winter," Kohler said carefully. "But you know Wisconsin winter? You know what lives in these forests? What hunts when snow covers the ground?" "Wildlife. Wolves, maybe. Black bears. We're prepared for predators. Wolves, ja. Bears, ja. But not just those. Something else. Something the old families know about. Something we don't talk about to outsiders. But I tell you now because you seem like good boys, and I don't want your deaths on my conscience." "What are you talking about?" I asked in German, showing respect, acknowledging his heritage. He switched to German, spoke directly to me. "Das Biest von Bray Road, the beast of Bray Road. It has lived in these forests longer than anyone remembers. Walks on 2 legs like a man. Has the head of a wolf. 7, maybe 8 feet tall. Hunts in winter. Kills livestock. Sometimes kills people. You go into those woods, into that farmland at night, you need to understand. you're entering their territory, and they don't like trespassers. Werewolves? Martinez said, not hiding his skepticism. Come on, this is America, not Transylvania. You think monsters care about geography? Kohler switched back to English. My grandfather saw one in 1932, killed 3 of his cattle in one night. My father saw 2 in 1968, chased him in his truck down Bray Road. I've seen them 4 times. Most recent was last month, 3 of them, in the forest near the old church ruins. They're real, and they hunt in winter because prey is easier, slower, weaker, more desperate. What do they look like? Chen asked, now taking notes. If we need to identify threats. And they're aggressive? Schmidt asked. They attack humans? If you enter their territory, yeah, especially in winter. Food is scarce, they're hungry, and they see humans as threats, or as prey. Depends on the situation. The old families know the rules. We don't go deep into the forest in winter. Don't travel alone at night. Don't camp near the old church ruins. Follow these rules, and mostly they leave us alone. But you Marines, you won't know the rules, won't respect the boundaries, and you'll pay the price. Schmidt nodded politely. We appreciate the warning, Mr. Kohler. We'll be careful. But we have mission parameters. We'll be operating in the forest and farmland for 7 days. We'll maintain proper security. We'll be fine. Kohler looked at him, then at all of us, and I saw something in his eyes. The same look Hector Gutierrez must have had when he warned those Marines in Texas. The look of a man who knows death is coming and can't stop it. Gott schütze euch, he said quietly in German. God protect you. Because once you're out there, in the forest, in the cold, you'll have no one else. The beast doesn't fear guns, doesn't fear soldiers. It only fears fire, and you can't carry enough fire to keep warm and keep them away. We deployed the next morning. Temperature was 8 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chill made it feel like -10. We were loaded with 7 days of cold weather gear, insulated clothing, sleeping bags rated to -40, MRES, water purification, ammunition, everything we needed for extended winter operations. The plan was to patrol 50 kilometers of mixed terrain, establish observation posts, document winter conditions, practice cold weather navigation. The area was perfect. Farmland broken by forest patches, rolling hills, frozen creeks, abandoned structures from old farms. Exactly the kind of terrain we'd encounter in Eastern Europe or Russia. We moved in tactical column, Schmidt on point, Anderson second with medical gear. The rest of us staggered in formation. Every few kilometers we'd stop, check map, confirm position, look for threats, standard patrol protocols. The Wisconsin landscape was different from anywhere we'd trained. Not mountains like Norway, not tundra like Alaska, not desert like the Middle East. This was farmland gone feral, old fields reclaimed by forest, abandoned barns, rusted equipment half buried in snow, and everywhere the sense that humans had retreated. That nature, and whatever lived in it, was taking back territory. By 1400, we'd covered maybe 8 kilometers, a sixth of our daily target, but the cold was affecting everyone. Davis was showing early signs of frostnip on his fingers. Williams had ice forming in his beard that restricted breathing. Even Schmidt was moving slower than normal. We make camp, he decided. Here, in this clearing, set up shelter, get warm, wait until conditions improve. We established a perimeter in what had once been a farmyard. Collapsed barn on one side, old foundation on the other. Gave us wind protection and structural reference points. We set up cold weather tents, got heaters running, posted security, tried to warm up enough to function. Around 1800, as the sun was setting and temperature was dropping to zero, Chen noticed something. "Sarge, look at those tracks." We all looked. In the snow, maybe 100 meters from our perimeter, were tracks. Large, canine, but wrong. The spacing was too wide, the stride too long, and mixed in with the four-legged tracks were bipedal impressions, like something that could walk on either 2 legs or 4. "Wolf tracks?" Martinez suggested. "Wolves don't switch between bipedal and quadrupedal," Schmidt said. I don't know what these are." "Kohler's beast," I said quietly. "Those match what he described. Wolf-like, but capable of walking upright. They're watching us, tracking us, figuring out what we are." "Let's not jump to cryptids," Schmidt cautioned. "Could be bears, could be someone's dogs running loose, could be anything." But I could tell he didn't believe it. None of us did, because the tracks circled our position, came within 50 meters, then withdrew, like whatever made them had scouted us, assessed our capabilities, and decided to come back later. We set night security. 3-hour rotations. 2 Marines awake at all times, NVGs on, weapons ready. But the night was quiet. Too quiet. No wind, no animal sounds, just silence and cold that dropped to -15 and made everything brittle. I had the 300 watch with Peterson. We were scanning the tree line with night vision when Peterson grabbed my arm. Movement, multiple contacts, coming from the forest. I looked. Through the green phosphor of the NVGs I could see them, shapes, moving between trees, low to the ground, fast. At least 6 distinct contacts, heading straight for our position. "Wake everyone," I whispered. "We've got company." The team came alert instantly. 12 Marines, weapons trained on the approaching contacts, waiting for visual identification, waiting to see what was hunting us in Wisconsin winter. They came into view maybe 30 meters out, and they weren't wolves, weren't bears, weren't anything natural. 7 feet tall when standing upright. Bipedal but capable of dropping to all fours. Covered in thick dark fur, gray and black mixed. Digitigrade legs bent backward like wolves, long arms ending in clawed hands. And the head, Christ, the head, pure wolf. Elongated snout, pointed ears, yellow eyes that reflected our NVG illumination back like mirrors. "Contact," Schmidt called. "Unknown hostiles, weapons free." We opened fire, 12 rifles, controlled bursts, but they were fast, impossibly fast. They scattered, some went left, some right, some straight at us, moving in patterns that showed coordination, pack tactics, military-level strategy. I tracked one, fired, saw impacts on its torso, but it didn't go down, just veered off, disappeared into the darkness, like our 5.56 millimeter rounds were annoying but not stopping. "They're not staying down," Jackson shouted. "I'm hitting them, but they keep moving." "Aim for heads," Schmidt ordered. "Center mass isn't working. Headshots only." We adjusted fire, but they were so fast, so hard to track, and then they did something that froze my blood. They retreated, pulled back into the forest, and vocalized, not howls, not growls, structured sounds, almost like speech, like they were communicating, coordinating their next move. "Sound off," Schmidt ordered. "Anyone hit?" We all reported in. 12 voices, 12 Marines still alive. But we'd just been attacked by something that shouldn't exist, by creatures that moved with pack coordination, by the beast of Bray Road that locals had been seeing for decades. "What the hell were those?" Davis demanded. "The beast," I said. Kohler tried to warn us. Just like every other story, the locals know. They tried to warn us, we didn't listen. Those were animals. Big animals. Maybe some kind of mutant wolves, but not. Animals don't coordinate attacks, don't communicate, don't show tactical awareness. You saw them. They're intelligent, they're organized, and they're hunting us. Schmidt checked his ammo. Whatever they are, we hurt them. They retreated. They know we're dangerous. They won't try again tonight. But even as he said it, I didn't believe him. And I could tell he didn't either. Because we'd seen something in those yellow eyes. Not fear, not confusion. Calculation. They were testing us. Learning what we could do. What we were capable of. How we fought. And they'd be back. With better tactics. Better strategy. Better coordination. We'd just entered their territory. Their hunting ground. Their forest. And they were deciding what to do about 12 armed humans in their domain. The sun came up an hour later. We searched for blood trails, for evidence of hits. Found nothing. No blood, no bodies, no proof we'd injured any of them. Like they understood we might use evidence to prove they existed. Like they were that smart, that careful. "We call for extraction," Anderson suggested. "Report contact with unknown hostiles. Get backup." "And tell them what?" Schmidt asked. "That we were attacked by werewolves? That the beast of Bray Road is real? They'll think we're crazy, or lying, or both." "So what do we do?" Schmidt looked at the forest, at the snow-covered fields, at the abandoned structures where those things were hiding, and I saw him make a decision. The wrong decision. The decision that would cost 8 Marines their lives. We continue the mission. We stay alert. We stay armed. And if they attack again, we kill them all. We're Marines. We've faced insurgents, terrorists, enemy soldiers. We don't run from aggressive wildlife. We don't abort missions because of local legends. We adapt. We overcome. We win. It sounded good. Sounded like leadership. Sounded like the Corps. But 12 Marines were about to learn that some enemies can't be beaten by training. Some predators are adapted to terrain you can't match. And some creatures have been hunting Wisconsin forests longer than America has existed. The beasts weren't done with us. They'd pulled back, regrouped, and were preparing for round 2. A round where they'd use everything they'd learned about us. Everything they'd observed. Everything that would give them the advantage. We had 6 days left in the forest. 8 Marines wouldn't survive to extraction, and the 4 who did would spend the rest of their lives knowing we'd been warned. We'd been given the truth, and we'd dismissed it as superstition. The forest was quiet as we packed up and prepared to move. But that silence wasn't peaceful, it was predatory. The silence of something watching, waiting, planning. And somewhere in those trees, in that snow, in that Wisconsin winter, the beast of Bray Road pack was preparing for the hunt. Moving through Wisconsin winter should have felt safer in daylight, should have given us visibility advantage. But the beasts knew this terrain, knew every hill, every forest patch, every abandoned structure. And we were slow. Cold makes you slow, makes your reaction sluggish, makes you vulnerable. By 1000, the temperature had climbed to 12 degrees, felt almost warm compared to the -15 of night. But we were still moving through knee-deep snow, still burning calories trying to stay warm, still fighting an environment that wanted us dead even before the beasts got involved. "We need to maintain better spacing," Schmidt said. "Tighten up formation. Those things move fast. We can't let them isolate anyone." We adjusted our patrol, moved in closer formation. Constant visual contact. Overlapping fields of fire. Every tactical advantage we could create. But in snow, in forest, against creatures that could move faster than we could track, every advantage felt inadequate. We found tracks as we moved. fresh ones, both bipedal and quadrupedal, following our route, paralleling us maybe 100 meters into the tree line, just far enough that we couldn't see them, but close enough that we knew they were there, watching, tracking, waiting. "They're following us," Martinez said, "keeping pace, staying hidden." "Let them," Schmidt replied. "Daylight gives us the advantage. If they attack now, we see them coming. We have time to react. We drop them before they get close." But they didn't attack. They just followed, patient, learning our patterns, our pace, our limitations. And I realized something that made my blood cold. They were waiting for us to get colder, waiting for hypothermia to set in, waiting for the Wisconsin winter to do their work for them. Then they'd strike. We reached an abandoned farm complex at 1400, collapsed house, half-standing barn, rusted equipment buried in snow. It had been a working farm maybe 30 years ago. Now it was just bones, a skeleton of human presence in land that was returning to wilderness. "We set up here," Schmidt decided. "Use the barn for wind protection, get a fire going, warm up. We've been moving 6 hours, everyone needs rest." We cleared the barn, checked for structural integrity, set up in the most stable section, built a fire in an old oil drum, big enough for warmth but contained enough to not burn the structure down. And for the first time in 2 days, we felt genuinely warm. "This isn't right," I said to Schmidt while the others were warming up. "The beasts, the way they're behaving, they're not just hunting, they're studying, learning, planning. They're animals. Smart animals, but animals. Animals don't test defenses, don't probe for weaknesses, don't show that level of tactical awareness. These things are different. They're problems we'll handle when they attack again. Right now, the priority is keeping everyone warm and functional. We lose Marines to hypothermia and the mission fails regardless of what's hunting us." He was right about the cold. Davis had progressed from frostnip to early frostbite on 3 fingers. Williams was showing signs of cold-induced asthma. Even healthy Marines were moving slower, thinking slower. The cold was winning even before the beasts made their next move. Around 1700, as the sun was setting and temperature was dropping back toward 0, Peterson was on security when he called out, "We've got visitors, multiple contacts. They're not hiding anymore." We all moved to defensive positions, looked out through gaps in the barn walls, and saw them, 6 of them, maybe more, standing at the tree line, maybe 50 meters out, not hiding, not stalking, just standing there, watching us, making sure we knew they were there. One of them, larger than the others, probably the alpha, took a step forward, raised its head, and vocalized, that same structured sound, not quite language but close, deliberate, communicative. And the others responded, all around our position, surrounding us in a perimeter. "They're boxing us in," Chen said, "surrounding the barn, cutting off escape routes. Then we make our stand here," Schmidt said. "This barn is defensible. Limited entry points, good fields of fire. We can hold this position. Until when? We've got maybe 3 days of food, 4 days of fuel. We can't hold here forever. We hold until they attack. Then we break out, fight through their line, move to the next position. And if they don't attack, if they just wait us out?" Schmidt didn't answer, because we all knew the answer. If they waited, if they let the cold and hunger weaken us, they'd eventually attack when we were too weak to fight effectively, too slow to escape, too compromised to survive. The beasts didn't attack that night. They just maintained their perimeter. We could see their eyes, yellow points of light in the darkness, circling our position, watching, waiting. And every few hours, they'd vocalize, coordinating, confirming positions, making sure their siege was intact. "This is psychological warfare," I said during my watch shift. "They're not just hunting us. They're breaking us down, making us afraid, making us make mistakes. They're animals." Anderson insisted. "You're anthropomorphizing, giving them human motivations. Then explain the coordination. Explain the patient siege. Explain tactical awareness that matches trained soldiers. These aren't just animals, they're something more." By morning, we'd been under siege for 12 hours. No attacks, no probes, just those eyes, those vocalizations, that constant presence that made sleep impossible, made rest futile, made every minute feel like an hour. "We move," Schmidt decided. "We can't stay here. We'll die of cold or starvation. We break the siege, fight through, reach the next defensive position." "Where?" "The old church ruins, 3 kilometers northeast. Stone structure, better protection than this barn. We fortify there. Make them come to us on ground we choose. That's deeper into their territory. Kohler specifically said not to go near the old church ruins. We don't have a choice. This barn won't hold. We need stone. We need better protection. We move at first light, combat formation, weapons ready. Anyone who attacks gets dropped. Understood?" We understood. But we also understood we were walking into a trap. The beasts wanted us to move. Wanted us in the open, where they could attack from multiple angles, where winter and predators would combine to kill us. We moved at 0700, tight formation, overlapping sectors, maximum alertness. And the beasts let us go, pulled back, gave us space, like they were hurting us, like they knew where we were going and wanted us there. The 3 kilometers to the church took 5 hours. Snow slowed us. Cold exhausted us. Terrain funneled us. And the beasts followed, always visible now. 6 of them, maybe 8, staying just out of effective range, making sure we knew they were there, making sure we understood we were surrounded. We reached the church ruins at 1300. Old stone structure, roof collapsed decades ago. Walls half standing, but still more protection than anything else in the area. We set up inside, built fires in the corners where stone was intact, posted security at the gaps where walls had fallen. "This is it," Schmidt said. "This is where we make our stand. They want us, they come get us, and we kill every one that tries." But the beasts didn't come. They just circled, maintained their perimeter. And as the sun set and temperature dropped to -20, I understood their strategy. They weren't going to attack. They were going to freeze us out, let the Wisconsin winter kill us, then feed on our bodies. "We're running out of fuel," Anderson reported at 2000. "Maybe 8 more hours of fire. After that, we freeze. Then we conserve. Huddle for warmth. Use body heat. We've trained for this. We've trained for tactical situations. Not multi-day sieges in sub-zero temperatures while being hunted by cryptids. This is different." It was different, and by midnight we were losing. Temperature inside the church was maybe 10 degrees. Not enough to prevent hypothermia, not enough to keep everyone functional. Davis's frostbite was progressing. Williams was showing signs of cold-induced pneumonia. Even the healthy Marines were deteriorating. Around 0200, the beasts made their move. Not a full assault, a probe. One of them, medium-sized, probably a juvenile, approached the church. Got within 20 meters. Testing our response, seeing if we were still capable of fighting. "Hold fire," Schmidt ordered. "Conserve ammunition. Let it get close, then drop it." The beast came closer. 15 meters, 10, 5. And then Peterson fired. Single shot, headshot. The beast went down, stayed down. First confirmed kill. But the others didn't scatter, didn't retreat. They just vocalized, acknowledged the loss, and pulled back. Like they'd gotten the information they needed. Like sacrificing one to test our capabilities was acceptable losses. "We got one," Peterson said. "Proved they can be killed. And proved we're still armed and dangerous," I said. "Now they know. They know we're weak, but not helpless. They'll adjust. Come at us differently." The second attack came at 0400. 3 of them. From different directions. Simultaneous assault. Coordinated timing, but we were ready. We'd set up overlapping fields of fire, created kill zones. We dropped all 3 confirmed kills. 5 beasts left in the pack. But the cost was high. We'd burned through 40% of our remaining ammunition. And Jackson was dead. One of the beasts had gotten close enough to swipe at him before going down. Claws had opened his throat. He'd bled out in 30 seconds. Dead before Anderson could even reach him. 11 Marines, Schmidt said grimly. And we're down to maybe 200 rounds total. We can't sustain this. Next attack, we bug out, make a run for it, try to reach civilization. Where? We're 15 kilometers from Kohler's farm, 20 from Elkhorn. In -20 temperatures, we won't make it. Then we die trying, because staying here, we die anyway. At least if we move, we have a chance. The sun came up an hour later. We counted. 5 beasts left. We'd killed 4. Proven they weren't invincible. But we'd lost 1 Marine. Used half our ammunition. And we were out of fuel. The fires died. Temperature inside the church dropped to match outside, -15 and falling. "We move now," Schmidt ordered, "while we still can. While we still have body heat. Head southwest. Make for Kohler's farm. 15 clicks. We can cover that in 6 hours if we push. And if they attack? We fight, we die, but we don't die sitting here freezing. We moved at 0800. 11 Marines. Limited ammunition. No cold weather fuel. 15 kilometers through Wisconsin winter with 5 beasts tracking our every step. The odds were bad, getting worse, and we all knew not everyone was making it out. The beasts let us get 2 kilometers before they struck. Coordinated attack. 2 from the front, 2 from behind, 1 from the flank. Perfect pack tactics. We fought, dropped 2 more, but lost Williams and Chen. Williams was taken from behind. Chen tried to save him. Both went down under slashing claws and tearing fangs. 9 Marines, 3 beasts left, 10 kilometers to go. And we were out of ammunition, used the last rounds killing those 2 beasts. Now we just had knives, fists, and desperation. "Run," Schmidt ordered. "Just run, don't stop, don't fight, just reach the farm." We ran. Through snow. Through cold. Through terrain that was trying to kill us, and behind us the 3 remaining beasts followed, patient, relentless, knowing we were done, knowing we were just meat now. Easy prey, fleeing to inevitable death. Martinez collapsed at 8 kilometers. Hypothermia. Couldn't continue. We tried to carry him, but the beasts closed in. We had to leave him. Had to keep running while he screamed behind us, while they took him, while another brother died in Wisconsin winter. 8 Marines, 3 beasts, 5 kilometers to go. But the cold was winning. Davis couldn't feel his hands. Anderson was coughing blood from cold-induced pneumonia. Even Schmidt was stumbling. And I knew, we all knew, not everyone was reaching that farm. 5 kilometers. In summer, on roads, that's maybe 30 minutes of walking. In Wisconsin winter, through snow, with hypothermia setting in and predators hunting you, it's eternity. It's distance measured in lives, in who falls next, in how many make it, and how many don't. We ran. 8 Marines. Exhausted. Frozen. Desperate. Behind us, 3 beasts followed. Not rushing, not attacking, just following. Because they knew. They could afford patience. The cold was killing us faster than they needed to. Peterson went down at 4 kilometers. Just collapsed. Hypothermia-induced confusion made him think he was warm. He started stripping off his jacket. By the time we realized what was happening, he was sitting in the snow, smiling, telling us he was fine, that he just needed to rest. "Peterson, get up!" Schmidt was pulling at him. "We have to move, we have to," but Peterson wasn't listening. Was already gone. Lost in the fatal warmth that hypothermia creates in your brain right before you die. We tried to drag him, but the beasts closed in. We had to choose. Die trying to save one man or keep running. Keep trying to save the rest. We left him sitting in the snow, smiling, freezing. And behind us, we heard him scream one last time as the beasts reached him, as they proved once again that winter gives them easy prey, confused prey, prey that doesn't even know it's dying. 7 Marines, 3 kilometers to go. The beasts were getting bolder now, coming closer, nipping at our heels, testing us. One of them ran past us, cut us off from the front, made us veer off course into deeper snow, into terrain that slowed us even more. Herding us. Playing with us like cats with mice. "They're not trying to kill us," I gasped to Schmidt. "They're playing, having fun. This is entertainment for them. Then we stop entertaining them. We fight. We make them regret playing." But we had no weapons, no strength, just fear and cold and desperation. Schmidt pulled his knife, turned, screamed, charged at the nearest beast. Pure rage, pure defiance, pure Marine Corps' refusal to die passive. The beast caught him, one swipe of its clawed hand and Schmidt went down. Throat opened, blood spraying across white snow. He didn't scream, didn't beg, just died fighting, just died like a Marine. And the beast stood over him, looked at the rest of us, and vocalized. Something that sounded almost like laughter. 6 Marines, 2.5 kilometers. No leader, no plan. Just run or die. Thompson tried to fight too. Picked up a branch, swung at a beast that got too close. The branch snapped. The beast didn't even slow down. Just grabbed Thompson, dragged him off into the trees. We heard him screaming for maybe 10 seconds. Then silence. 5 Marines. 2 kilometers. We weren't running anymore. We were stumbling, shambling, moving on pure survival instinct. Anderson was behind me. Davis beside me. Washington ahead. Miller somewhere to the left. All of us spread out. All of us alone. All of us dying. One of the beasts, the alpha, the big one, came for Anderson. He tried to run, tried to dodge, but he was too slow, too cold, too human. It took him down in the snow. We didn't hear him scream. Just a brief struggle, then nothing. 4 Marines, 1.5 kilometers. I could see lights ahead, farm lights. Kohler's farm. Salvation, if we could just reach it, just get to human territory, to safety, to survival. But the distance felt infinite, felt impossible, felt like a goal that kept receding no matter how hard we pushed. Washington fell, just fell. Didn't get attacked, didn't get taken, just collapsed from exhaustion and hypothermia and defeat. Miller and Davis and I kept running. Left him behind, left him to freeze or be eaten or both. because stopping meant death, and we'd lost too many already. 3 Marines, 1 kilometer. Miller screamed. I turned. Saw him go down, saw a beast on top of him, saw blood. Too much blood. Davis and I didn't stop, couldn't stop, just kept running, kept moving toward those lights, toward hope, toward life. 2 Marines, 500 meters. Davis couldn't keep up. I could hear him behind me, falling further back, breathing labored, movement uncoordinated. And I knew I should stop, should help, should be the Marine I was trained to be. But survival instinct overrode training. Self-preservation overrode brotherhood. And I just kept running, kept moving, kept choosing my life over his. I heard Davis scream, heard him call my name, heard him beg for help. But I didn't stop, didn't turn, just ran. And his screaming cut short, and I knew I'd left him to die. Knew I'd chosen wrong, knew I'd failed. 1 Marine. 200 meters. I could see the farmhouse clearly now. Could see Kohler on the porch. Could see him waving, shouting. Could see salvation so close, so possible. Just 200 meters. Just a final sprint. Just something hit me from behind. Claws tore through my jacket, through my skin, into my back. Pain exploded. I went down in the snow, rolled. Saw the alpha beast standing over me. Yellow eyes staring into mine. Jaws opening. Ready to finish what it started. But then fire, gunshot. The beast jerked, turned. Another shot. This one hit its shoulder. It vocalized, angry, confused, backed away. And I saw Kohler on the porch, rifle in hand, firing, driving the beast's back, creating space, giving me a chance. "Run!" he shouted. "Run! Now!" I ran, ignored the pain, ignored the blood, ignored everything except those final 100 meters. 50 meters, 25, and I reached the porch, reached safety, collapsed. And Kohler dragged me inside, slammed the door, and we both heard them outside. The 3 beasts, circling, testing the perimeter, looking for a way in. But they didn't attack the house, didn't try to break through. They just circled, vocalized, and then retreated. Back into the forest, back into their territory. Mission accomplished. Message sent. 8 Marines dead. 1 barely alive. Warning delivered. Kohler bandaged my back, called 911. And 30 minutes later, an ambulance arrived. Took me to a hospital in Elkhorn. And I spent the next week trying to explain, trying to make doctors understand why I was the only one who made it. Why 11 Marines died in Wisconsin winter. Why I survived and they didn't. "You were lucky," the doctors said. "Hypothermia, blood loss, trauma. You almost died. Your team wasn't as lucky. The cold took them. Wildlife finished what winter started. These things happen in extreme conditions." But it wasn't luck. It was cowardice. I'd left Davis, left him screaming my name, left him begging for help, and I'd just kept running, saved myself, abandoned my brother, survived while better men died. The military arrived 3 days later. Colonels, intelligence officers, investigators. They separated the medical staff, interrogated me privately, wanted to know what really happened. What killed 11 Marines in rural Wisconsin? "The beast of Bray Road," I said. "Pack of them, 6 initially. We killed 3. 3 survived. They hunted us for 4 days. Systematically eliminated us. Used winter and tactics and intelligence. They're real. Kohler tried to warn us. We didn't listen." "Staff Sergeant Hoffman," the colonel said carefully, "you've been through severe trauma. Hypothermia causes hallucinations, confusion, false memories. What you think you saw, I know what I saw. What we all saw. Those things are real. They hunted us, killed us, and they're still out there, in those forests, waiting for the next group of people who don't believe, who ignore the warnings, who think Wisconsin is safe. The colonel closed his folder. The official report will state that your unit encountered extreme weather conditions during winter training, that multiple hypothermia casualties occurred, that wildlife scavenged the bodies. That's the story. That's what happened. Understood? That's a lie. That's a cover-up. 11 Marines deserve better than 11 Marines deserve to be remembered honorably, not as victims of cryptids that officially don't exist. Their families deserve closure, not conspiracy theories. The official story protects their memory, protects their families, and prevents panic about werewolves in Wisconsin. So that's the story, and that's final. I was released from the hospital 2 weeks later. Medical discharge, PTSD, honorable, with full benefits. But my career was over, and my conscience was destroyed. I'd survived by abandoning Davis, by leaving him to die, by being the one Marine who chose self over others, who lived while better men died. The search teams found 7 bodies: Schmidt, Anderson, Williams, Chen, Jackson, Martinez, Miller, recovered them, sent them home, gave them military funerals, honored their sacrifice. But Peterson, Thompson, Washington, and Davis, never found, listed as missing, presumed dead, bodies lost to Wisconsin winter and wildlife. No recovery, no closure, no final goodbye. I went to Kohler's farm a month later. Needed to thank him, needed to understand, needed something from someone who knew the truth, who believed, who understood. "The beast let you live," he said when I asked why I survived. "They always let one survive, one to tell the story, one to spread the warning, one to make sure others know not to go into their forest. You're not lucky, you're a message. A walking advertisement that says, stay away from Bray Road, stay out of our forest, or die. So I'm just a tool? Just their way of marking territory? Yeah, but you're also alive. 11 of your brothers aren't. Maybe being their tool is better than being dead. Maybe spreading the warning saves future lives. Maybe your survival means something more than just fear. Maybe. But it didn't feel like it. It felt like guilt, like shame, like the weight of 11 names I'd carry forever. 11 Marines who'd trusted me, who'd fought beside me, who'd died while I ran, while I chose myself over them, while I became the one Marine who lived when I should have died. The beasts are still there, in the forests near Bray Road, hunting, marking territory, killing anyone who doesn't believe, who doesn't listen, who doesn't respect the warnings that generations of Wisconsin families have passed down. And I'm still here, alive, broken, carrying 11 names, spreading the warning, being the message the beasts wanted me to be. Living proof that winter in Wisconsin can kill you in ways the survival manuals don't mention, in ways the military doesn't acknowledge, in ways that science can't explain, but folklore has always known. The beast of Bray Road is real. They hunt in winter. They kill systematically. And 11 Marines proved it. 11 good men who died because we dismissed German folklore as superstition, because we thought American forests were safe, because we believed training and weapons were enough. They weren't. They never will be. Not against something that's been hunting Wisconsin woods longer than America has existed. Not against predators perfectly adapted to winter. Not against creatures that understand tactics as well as trained Marines. Not against the beast. For years. That's how long it's been since 12 Marines entered Wisconsin winter and only one came out. 4 years of living with memories. 4 years of nightmares. 4 years of carrying 11 names that don't let me rest. That don't let me forget. That remind me every day that I survived by being a coward. By abandoning Davis. By choosing myself over my brother. My name is still Sergeant Kyle Hoffman. I'm 31 now. Don't work for the military anymore. Medical discharge. PTSD. Can't handle stress. Can't handle cold. Can't handle anything that reminds me of that January, of that forest, of those 4 days when winter and the beast of Bray Road killed my entire team. I live in Milwaukee now, far enough from Walworth County that I don't see the farmland, don't see the forests, don't remember every day what happened there. But close enough that I feel like I owe something. Owe it to the 11 who died. Owe it to future people who might not believe. Owe it to the truth that the military covered up and wants buried. The official story hasn't changed. Training accident. Extreme weather conditions. Multiple hypothermia casualties. Some bodies recovered. Some lost to wildlife and terrain. Tragic, but understandable. The Marine Corps never admitted what really happened, never will admit it, because admitting that cryptids killed 11 Marines would shatter too many comfortable assumptions, would raise too many questions, would force people to accept that Wisconsin forests hold things that shouldn't exist. I tracked down the other stories over the years, the other people who'd seen the beast of Bray Road, and there were dozens, hundreds maybe. Going back to the 1930s. Consistent descriptions. Consistent behavior. Consistent locations. All dismissed, all explained away, all labeled as misidentification or hoax or delusion. But they were real sightings, real encounters, real warnings that nobody took seriously because werewolves aren't supposed to exist in modern America. In rural Wisconsin. In forests where people hike and hunt and camp, they're supposed to be European folklore, medieval superstition, not something that kills trained Marines in the 21st century. Linda Godfrey documented them, the author who wrote Beast of Bray Road, interviewed witnesses, collected reports, tried to prove something was out there, and she was right. Every witness she interviewed saw what we saw, described what we fought, confirmed what killed my team. I contacted her 6 months after the incident, shared my story, gave her details the public reports didn't include, told her about the tactics, the intelligence, the coordination, the way the beasts hunted like soldiers, like predators who'd been doing this for generations and knew every trick. This matches everything I've heard, she said, the pack behavior, the winter hunting, the siege tactics. These creatures aren't random, they're organized, they're territorial, and they're far more intelligent than people want to accept. Why doesn't anyone believe? Why does every sighting get dismissed? Because accepting they're real means accepting that humans aren't as dominant as we think, that our weapons don't make us safe, that our understanding of nature is incomplete. That's terrifying. So people reject it, dismiss it, call witnesses crazy. It's easier than accepting the truth. But I knew the truth, had lived it, had watched 11 brothers die because we didn't accept it early enough, didn't take Heinrich Kohler's warning seriously enough, didn't respect German folklore that had been trying to tell us for generations that things hunt Wisconsin forests, things that aren't bears, aren't wolves, are something else entirely. I visited Kohler every few months, needed to talk to someone who understood, who'd seen them, who knew the truth and didn't think I was crazy. He was dying now, cancer, 84 years old, not long left, but still sharp, still remembered everything. You carry guilt, he said in German during one visit. You think you should have died with them, should have saved them, but there was nothing you could do. The beast chose you to survive, chose you to warn others. Fighting that choice would have just added your name to the dead, would have meant no one survived to tell the story. I left Davis, left him screaming, begging for help, and I just kept running. Because stopping would have killed you both. Because sacrifice without purpose is waste. Because surviving to warn others serves the living and honors the dead. You think your brothers would want you dead too? Or would they want you alive, spreading the warning, preventing future deaths? I didn't know, couldn't know, but the guilt remained. 11 Marines dead, and I'd lived by being the one who ran, who chose self-preservation over brotherhood, who violated every value the Corps had taught me, who survived by being less of a Marine than the men who died. The beasts are still there, Kohler continued. Still hunting, still killing. 3 tourists went missing last winter, hikers, didn't listen to warnings, went into the forest after dark, never came out. Local sheriff said they probably got lost, died of exposure. But I know better. So do the old families. We know what took them, what killed them, what will keep killing anyone who doesn't listen. Why don't you speak out? Tell people? Force them to believe? We do tell people. Every time outsiders come. Every time hunters want to go deep into the forest. Every time winter hikers show up. We warn them, and they ignore us. Call us superstitious, old-fashioned, paranoid. So they go. And some of them die. And we warn the next group, and the cycle continues because no one wants to believe until they see for themselves. And by then, it's usually too late. Kohler died 3 months after that conversation. Heart failure in his sleep. The funeral was small, just family and a few old farming families who'd known him for generations. But they all had stories. All had seen the beast at some point. All knew the truth that no one outside their community would accept. I gave talks sometimes, at veteran groups, at outdoor survival courses, at anyone who would listen. I told the story, the real story, not the training accident version. The truth. About 12 Marines, about winter, about creatures that hunt Wisconsin forests, about 11 men who died and 1 who lived to warn others. Some people believed me. Some people thought I was crazy. Some people thought I was running a grift or seeking attention or suffering from untreated PTSD. But I kept talking, kept warning, kept trying to make sure the next group of Marines or hunters or hikers didn't make the same mistakes we made. Didn't dismiss folklore as superstition. Didn't ignore warnings from people who knew the land. The military still won't acknowledge it. Still maintains the training accident story. Still classifies Wisconsin winter training as acceptable with proper precautions. But they don't send Marines to Walworth County anymore. Don't authorize operations near Bray Road. Don't risk repeating what happened to us. They know something's there. They just can't officially admit it. Can't risk the questions. Can't risk the panic. But people keep disappearing, every winter. Hunters who go too deep. Hikers who camp in wrong areas. Teenagers who dare each other to visit the old church ruins. All of them vanishing. All of them explained away. All of them adding to a body count that nobody wants to acknowledge, but everybody knows exists. I drive past that area sometimes. Highway 11 runs near Bray Road, and I look out at the farmland, at the forests, at the terrain where 11 Marines died, where 11 men learned too late that Wisconsin holds more than dairy farms and cheese, where 11 brothers proved that folklore is warning and legends are real. And sometimes, in winter, when snow covers the ground and temperature drops below 0, I see them, at the tree line, standing at the forest edge, watching traffic, those same yellow eyes, that same wolf-like silhouette, that same bipedal posture, reminding me they're still there, still hunting, still protecting their territory. But they don't approach, don't threaten, just watch. Because I serve their purpose now. I'm their warning system, their proof that humans who trespass die, their message that Wisconsin forests aren't safe. That winter makes everything more dangerous. That respecting folklore keeps you alive. I'm not a survivor, I'm a messenger, a tool the beasts use to mark their boundaries. This far and no farther. Enter our forest in winter and die. That's the message. That's what 11 Marines died to teach. That's what I'm condemned to repeat for the rest of my life. Davis haunts me the most. I hear his voice sometimes, calling my name, begging for help, asking why I left him, why I chose myself over him, why I ran while he died. And I have no answer, no justification, no excuse, just guilt and shame and knowledge that I survived by being less than I should have been. His family thinks he died in a training accident, that he froze to death in Wisconsin winter, that his body was never recovered because wildlife scattered his remains. They don't know I heard him die, don't know I could have helped, don't know I chose not to, and I can never tell them, because what would I say? Your son died screaming my name while I ran away? That's not closure, that's torture. So I carry it. Carry all 11 names: Schmidt, Anderson, Jackson, Williams, Chen, Martinez, Peterson, Thompson, Washington, Miller, Davis. 11 Marines who trusted me, who fought beside me, who died while I lived, who deserved better than being footnotes in a training accident report. The beast of Bray Road is still out there. Multiple packs probably. 6 to 8 in each pack. Hunting the forests and farmland of Walworth County, killing anyone who doesn't believe, who doesn't listen, who doesn't respect the warnings that German families have been passing down for over a century. And I'm still here, 31 years old, broken, carrying guilt that will never go away, spreading warnings that most people ignore, being the proof the beasts wanted me to be. Living evidence that winter in Wisconsin kills in ways that go beyond hypothermia and exposure, in ways that folklore has always known but science refuses to accept. I got a message last week from a Marine unit planning winter training in Wisconsin. They'd heard the stories, wanted to know if they were real, wanted advice, wanted to understand what happened to us. I told them everything. Don't train in Walworth County. Don't go near Bray Road. Don't dismiss local warnings. Don't think training makes you safe. Listen to the old families. Respect the folklore. Follow the rules. And if you see yellow eyes in the darkness, if you see something bipedal in the forest, if you hear vocalizations that sound almost like speech, run. Don't fight. Don't try to prove yourself. Just run. And don't stop running until you reach human territory, until you reach safety, until you're somewhere the beasts won't follow. They thanked me, said they'd be careful, said they'd respect the warnings. But I could hear doubt in their voices, skepticism, the same dismissive tone we'd had when Kohler warned us, the same confidence that training and weapons make you invincible, the same arrogance that got 11 Marines killed. And I know, they'll probably die too. Because humans don't learn from warnings, don't believe until they experience, don't respect folklore until folklore proves itself with blood. That's just how we are, how we've always been, how we'll always be. The beast of Bray Road doesn't need to change, doesn't need to adapt, doesn't need to evolve. Because humans keep making the same mistakes, keep ignoring the same warnings, keep dying the same deaths, generation after generation, year after year, winter after winter. Heinrich Kohler tried to warn us, Linda Godfrey tried to document them. I'm trying to spread the truth, but it's never enough. Because accepting that werewolves exist in Wisconsin requires accepting that the world is stranger than we want to believe, more dangerous than we want to admit, more mysterious than we want to acknowledge. So, people dismiss us, call us crazy, explain away sightings, attribute deaths to natural causes, and keep venturing into forests where things hunt that shouldn't exist but do. Keep camping in winter where cold and creatures combine to kill. Keep ignoring warnings until warnings become obituaries. 12 Marines entered Wisconsin winter in January 2020. 11 died. 1 survived to tell the story, to spread the warning, to be the message the beasts wanted the world to hear. Wisconsin forests belong to them. Winter is their hunting season. And humans who trespass pay with their lives. I don't know if anyone's listening. Don't know if warnings matter. Don't know if spreading the truth prevents future deaths or just adds to my guilt. But I keep trying. Keep talking. Keep hoping that someone, maybe just one person, will believe. Will take it seriously. Will survive because they respected folklore instead of dismissing it. That's all I can do, all I have left. 11 names I carry, 11 brothers I couldn't save, 11 Marines who died proving that legends are real and warnings are literal, and 1 survivor who lives with guilt and shame and knowledge that he's alive because he was less than he should have been. The beast of Bray Road is still there, in the forests, in the farmland, in the winter darkness of rural Wisconsin, hunting, killing, marking territory. And I'm still here, warning, remembering, carrying 11 names that won't let me rest, won't let me forget, won't let me pretend it didn't happen. Because it did happen. It happens. It will keep happening. Until people learn, until people believe, until people respect the old stories and follow the rules and acknowledge that Wisconsin winter holds more than cold and snow and wind. It holds creatures, predators, things that hunt humans, things that German folklore tried to warn us about, things that killed 11 Marines who didn't listen. Don't be the next one. Don't be the next name I carry. Don't be the next person who dismisses warnings as superstition. Because in Wisconsin in winter, near Bray Road, the beast is real. The danger is real. And death is real. 12 Marines learned that. 11 died learning it. 1 survived to warn you. The choice is yours. Believe and live, or dismiss and die. But know that if you die, your family will be told it was a training accident, an environmental casualty, a natural death. They'll never know the truth. Never know what really killed you. Never know that ancient folklore tried to warn you and you didn't listen. Just like we didn't listen to Heinrich Kohler. Just like we died in Wisconsin winter. Just like 11 Marines proved that the beast of Bray Road isn't legend, isn't myth, isn't fiction. It's real, it's there, it's hunting, and it's waiting for the next person who doesn't believe. Who doesn't respect the warnings, who thinks Wisconsin is safe. It's not safe. It never was. It never will be. And 11 Marines' names prove it. Schmidt, Anderson, Jackson, Williams, Chen, Martinez, Peterson, Thompson, Washington, Miller, Davis. 11 good men who died because we thought we knew better. Because we thought folklore was just stories. Because we thought training made us invincible. We were wrong. They paid the price. And I'm left to warn you, don't make the same mistake. The beast of Bray Road is real. German folklore was right. And winter in Wisconsin can kill you in ways that go far beyond cold. Listen to the warnings, respect the folklore, follow the rules, and maybe, just maybe, you'll survive where 11 Marines couldn't. That's the message. That's the warning. That's what I'll carry until the day I die. And when I die, I hope someone else picks up the message, keeps warning, keeps trying to save lives by sharing truth that most people don't want to hear. Because the beast doesn't stop, the hunting doesn't end. And winter in Wisconsin belongs to them, not us, them. And pretending otherwise gets you killed, just like it killed my brothers, just like it might kill you, unless you listen, unless you believe, unless you respect the old German stories and acknowledge that some legends are real. The beast of Bray Road is waiting. In the forests, in the farmland, in the winter darkness. Don't give it another victim. Don't add another name to the list. Don't be the next person who learns too late that folklore is warning and werewolves are real. 12 Marines went into Wisconsin winter. 11 didn't come back. And the one who did is begging you. Believe the warnings. Respect the beast. Stay out of their territory or die proving what we already proved with 11 lives. The choice is yours. The warning is clear. The beast is waiting, and Wisconsin winter doesn't forgive.